everybody. How you doing this morning? You knew that wasn't Gene on the air, huh? 7:02, Greg Dumas sitting in for Gene Richard this morning. How are you? It is so good to have you with us this morning on just a muggy morning, but it's so good to just be alive and live in this great country that we do. KTIB Thibodaux. Gene's taking off for a day and running around doing something. We don't know what he's doing, but anyway, he called me last night and said, "Can you sit in for me this morning?" I said, "I sure can. I would enjoy sitting in this great chair that everybody, my guests say they can't hear the headphones. Let's see if I can pump them up a little bit, but we'll get that in just a minute, okay? Anyway, it's good to have you with us, and as we approach the July 4th holiday, we want to remember all of our service people that are across the world and the good job that they were doing, and you guys and gals that did the job before. We thank you too. Keep them all in your prayers and your thoughts as you go through this day and as you continue to celebrate the 4th of July week coming up. Of course, it's in the middle of the week, and there's a little bit of confusion on that because it's in the middle of the week. And so we're gonna talk about all that this morning because of the celebrations going on in and around the area. Good morning. You're on KTIB.
Good morning, Mr.
Hey,
Greg.
Doug. How you doing this morning?
Okay.
Good. What's up, man?
My mom is feeling a little bit better.
Oh, good. I'm glad, Doug. I'm really glad.
Because she was in a... Greg, can I tell you the whole thing?
Real quick, buddy.
She was in the hospital Wednesday night, and then she stayed last night. They got to run tests on my mama.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we're going to keep her in our thoughts and prayers here, and you take care of Mom here.
Okay, my daddy's taking care of her at the hospital.
Good. Well, best of luck to her, Doug, and you keep us posted, okay?
Okay, I'm going to keep y'all posted, okay?
Have a great weekend, Doug.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye. So we're going to keep, that's good old Doug, our loyal listener and our loyal fan here at KTIB, and he's just a wonderful guy. Keep his mom in your prayers and your thoughts. Let's see what we got going on in the summertime. Gene's let you know about this already, but my boss, Lafourche Parish Sheriff Craig Weber, has announced the scheduling of additional Rad Kids defense classes. These are great. I work with the lady that does this stuff, and it's a phenomenal course. The next one is, guess what? Yeah, we still got some time. Here is July 23rd through 26th. Sergeant Carla Landry does that down at the Lady of the Sea Hospital down the bayou, which is a great little hospital, too. You know, we talk about the surrounding hospitals, but very seldom do we talk about the Lady of the Sea because it's all the way down there. But that's a great little hospital for the people down there.
You've never been there, though, huh?
That's the 8th wonder of the world speaking right now, Gibbens Robichaux. Yes, I have been. You
didn't have a baby there, huh?
No.
You didn't make a baby there either.
I'm not going to go there, all right? Anyway, back to the RAD classes. They start at 9:30, go to 11:30 daily. Children 5 to 7, and then 1 to 3 daily, 8 to 12-year-olds. Parents can elect to drop their child off or stay with the 2-hour program each day. And children are urged, of course, to wear comfortable clothing and tennis shoes. It's $10 for the course materials. That's not for the instructors, just for the materials. And you can call Sergeant Carla Landry. I know you're not going to write this down, but call me, 537-9656, 537-9656. That's Sergeant Carla Landry if you want to enlist your children in that program. Well, we're talking about 4th of July week, and here it is sitting in front of me right now. The Let Freedom Ring Festival, the city of Thibodaux always has one on July 4th. There's one in Houma, I believe, and I'm not, let me take a guess at it. I think it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. If somebody knows, give me a call at that, okay, because I'd like to know. But the big one here in Thibodaux is going to be this week, next week in the middle of the week. Park opens at 8 a.m. in the morning. Gene Richard says he is there at 8 o'clock in the morning. Music begins at 12, and of course, a whole bunch of stuff goes on during that day, including fireworks at 9 o'clock at night. So military display, free child IDs will be given out, patriotic gifts for children, no admission charge. That's at Pelche Park in Thibodaux. So, hey, what's the weather forecast going to look like? Well, I think I got the key guy right now to tell me what the weather forecast is. It's hot and humid, but we have a special guest besides Gibbens Robichaux this morning. Our answer to weather in any part of the country, but especially South Louisiana. William, how you doing this morning?
Well, the expert, I thought you called Bart Darby to come in there.
What's the weather for? I'm going to get to you on other things, but what's the weather forecast look like?
Well, it looks like same old thing, 10% chance of a passing shower. Highs around 95 today. Yesterday we got up to 93 here in town. The low this morning was 75. And partly cloudy skies and very little wind outside of what few showers form.
Tell me about it.
And then tonight looks like lows will average about 76, fair skies, closer to 80 along the coast. And then for Saturday and Sunday, it'll be a repeat, possibly Sunday going up to 20%. Continue partly cloudy, highs around 93. And like I said, very little wind outside of what few showers develop.
I ran at 3:45 this morning, and there was no wind, and it was miserable.
Yeah.
I bet it's hot.
Oh,
It's very stagnant.
I produced a little bit of salt, more than modern salt, this morning while I was sweating.
Did you see some other people out there running?
No, I was the only stupid one out
Quarter
there.
to 4. That's stupid. I'm glad you didn't call me.
There is one gentleman, I didn't see him this morning, but he does run around Nichols about the same time that I do. But I didn't see him this morning. About your age.
You're going over there thinking they have girls running around there, I bet, huh?
No, that's midday.
Oh, I knew you were timing that, boy.
Thanks, William. And William Taylor's going to stay with us throughout the hour. But
Yeah.
the bottom line is it's going to be hot again.
Yeah, and no real change in that. Right now we're in the our average 6 warmest weeks of the year from last week of June to the second week of August.
And you know, people say it's hotter, but it's just we're conditioned to air conditioning.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, that's what it is.
basically, if you grew up starting around 1965 onward, you have just been so absorbed in air conditioning the vast majority of the time that,
The body.
you're not acclimating yourself to it like father and grandfather did. So it's, that's all it's really been, because a lot of in recent years we've had some record highs. Still, a lot of our record highs go back to 1930, and as far
Really?
back as 1890.
Interesting.
In some locations. So I've always believed that the AC theory has just spoiled way too many people.
Back in Gibbons' time and my time, we can remember when we went to grammar school, didn't even have fans.
They had no fans.
No.
Open the windows, that's right.
Well,
And teachers didn't complain. They didn't have unions back then.
yeah. Well, interesting you mentioned that, because 3 weeks from tomorrow is going to be my 25th high school reunion.
Uh-oh.
Now, as it
God
pertains
help us.
to AC, I was part of what was then East Thibodeau Junior High's last class without air conditioning.
Really?
As soon as we left in 9th grade to go to Thibodeau High for 10th, that's when they put the ACs in at East Thibodeau.
After you left.
Literally right after we left.
The hot class was gone, boy.
Yeah, some hot times that we didn't
Hot
want.
times and old times. That's right.
Oh,
Well, as some of our guests, as some of our listeners will remember, those were warm days. But again, we have to go back to us being an air-conditioned society, and it's just the sign of the times, because we were in grammar school. I can remember in I think it was 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade, they put fans in the corners of our classrooms, and man, that was like air conditioning to us. That was just that was phenomenal.
the main school building of Old St. Charles Elementary down the road, they used to have these let's say about 6-7 feet up the wall. They would have these old-fashioned black iron fans.
Okay.
And they would actually swish back and forth, rotate back and forth to try to help us out a little bit.
Right.
And they had nice big windows you could open up, to at least get some kind of ventilation out of
They
it.
had underarm deodorants then.
Yeah, they did. Arid.
I remember that.
Wow.
What was it? The yellow toothpaste? Ipana, huh?
Ipana.
Ipana.
And there's another
I
one
knew
too.
you were that old.
Pico Pay. Wait, no, I forgot what the other one is, but they used to have a jingle for it. But anyway, I digress there. We had a lot of excitement here in the studio yesterday, and I want to thank everybody that participated on Gene's show, and then afterwards Moon Griffon was in here, and
Yeah,
I mean
boy.
it went on and on and on yesterday.
820 at least. Yeah.
Well, then Moon came on and
Yeah.
did his statewide show from here yesterday.
didn't see
So
it. Yeah.
it was something else,
I
man.
know.
The whole
And then
morning.
in Washington, D.C. for an hour later, look what happened.
We're not going to talk about that this morning. Obama just screwed us again, but that's all right, in my opinion. Your taxes have just been raised about the highest tax rate in the history of the United States of America, but that's all right. We won't talk about
Next
it.
to the LSU-Alabama game, the worst day in American history.
Yeah.
There's some things that happened in 1910. Look at that first run.
Why don't you tell us here? You can tell us this. 102 years ago, let's see. So what is it? Oh, okay. The average life expectancy for men was 47 years.
Yeah.
Are you kidding
Wow.
me?
That's why Social Security is.
We made it, man. We made it. Good morning. You're on KTIB.
Well, I tell you what, you talk about speaking from a barrel of ignorance.
I knew I'd wake you up.
You woke him up.
Those last two statements were some of them. I tell you what, I'm not going to say anything, but you are absolutely, positively, 100% wrong.
No, I'm not, Paul.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
That health
That's
care
a
bill
tax.
is going to reduce the deficit by $1 trillion over the next 20 years.
Well, let's get rid of.
Plus,
Let's get.
plus the fact is that in 1926 and 1924, the Revenue Act reduced the income tax. We're up in the 90 percentile.
Well, that's in 1922. We're in what?
No, you said in the history
In
of
the
this
history.
country.
Okay, well that's according to news sources. Okay.
I said the news sources are wrong. CNN and Fox reported that the Supreme Court had turned it down. So
I know.
That tells you.
Well,
what the
that's
news
the way. That's
sources
the
are
way.
all
That's the
about.
way Robert's. Do you know that Robert? Never mind. I'm gonna go get into it with you this morning. But anyway, you have your opinion. I have mine. I think we just got.
Right.
I think we got screwed.
The
Okay.
thing is, let's give out the right information.
All right, we're giving the right information. Listen to Fox News.
Yours is right.
Yeah, that's right. I
yours
tried to
is right. I
study the issue and.
Let's see. Let's see. Hold on.
What,
Moon Griffon will be on, and then Laura Ingram, and then Jerry Dahl, and
never listened to Moon Griffon,
Laura
so
Ingram's great.
I'm not interested.
and then Michael
so.
Savage. Boy, Michael Savage is going to take care of you this afternoon.
Yeah.
You're right.
Y'all have a good day.
Hey, good hearing from you, Paul. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. All right.
I think he was born in the 17th century.
Nah, good friend Paul.
Yeah, he is.
He's a good friend of ours and a great historian and a very brilliant man. I knew he was going to call on that.
Absolutely. And Laurel Grove, fabulous.
He does a great job over there,
yeah, he's very
Laurel Valley and
Gotta put a statue of him out there.
hey, that's a good idea.
We throw some eggs at it.
No.
No, he's
Man,
fabulous.
he is. Listen, all the professors out at Nicholls State University, we have quite a great staff out there that keeps these things going, and you know, that's one of our local issues. We need to get more funding for Nicholls State University
Sure
and keep that great university and professors like Paul
That
around because.
the president is great.
Hold on just a minute. Good morning. You're on KTIB.
Good morning. This is Hank.
Hey, Hank.
I thought about Gene and Paul last night because I got home and my wife had been tied up, so I made my own supper. I had a sandwich made out of salted, processed alien meat, also known as Spam.
Yeah.
Man,
Real mayonnaise.
I want a T-shirt that says that on it. All right.
I thought about both of them suckers last night when I made that sandwich.
Oh goodness, Hank, what you up to today, man?
About 5'9.5". That's as good as it gets.
what are you up to?
I'm
Yeah.
on my way to the war.
All right.
Okay.
And I agree with you. We screwed, bro.
Good.
4 more years of this and we dead in the water.
Well, that's about how I feel right now. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
I promised my
Absolutely.
wife I wouldn't get into this
No, we're
morning.
not
So,
gonna talk. We're talking about the weather.
but
You
I
can't
opened.
hardly avoid it. I mean, good Lord.
That's true. I opened up a can of worms, I guess. But yeah, you can hardly avoid it. And we just need to educate ourselves. And I think Paul is right in one way. We need to study that more and educate ourselves and
That's right.
see how it affects us as individuals, as a community, as a parish, as a state, and as a nation, and go from there and go forward. We still got a great country, y'all. Great country.
Absolutely.
And it works. The system worked. Although we don't like some of the system, the way it worked, the system did work, and we're going to see if the system works again when Romney gets in and he kicks us out.
We need a different quarterback.
No, I'm just kidding you. Listen, Hank, you have a great day, okay?
Oh, yeah. It's the only kind to have.
All right, buddy. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Hank, for calling.
Yeah.
Gibbens Robichaux, I haven't really introduced you. I said you're the eighth wonder of the world, but,
Yeah, right.
but Mr. Tidbits
Johnny
himself.
Perko had me born in 1790. When Ryenzi was built, 1797.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind
I kind of remember that.
I'm
you know.
hoping Let's get this phone
That might
call.
be
and then-
Washington, D.C.
and then- Good morning. You're on KTIB.
No, it's far from Washington, D.C.
Hey, D.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but
Let's say D.
I say D Richard for president. Okay,
Yeah,
let's go.
That's what I said.
Anybody but Paul, I guess, huh?
No,
I was
come on.
hoping he'd call in the show yesterday, but I guess he was busy. But I'd love to hear him spar with Kennedy or them other guys. But, I understand where he's coming from sometimes. I really do.
Yeah.
And that means well, but I can't believe that. They calling this thing a tax knife. The Democrats argued and argued, said it wasn't a tax knife. It's called a tax. So it is what it is, and we're going to have to abide by it, I guess.
Did Judge Roberts say it was a tax?
Yeah.
That's what he said, yeah.
Okay.
That's what they said.
First time it was mentioned as a...
He was the one that shocked me. I thought maybe Kennedy would be the deciding vote, but when
Well-
Roberts voted for it, that really shocked me.
Pull up the Drudge
But I
Report.
guess it's like Paul said, he's probably not the real conservative. He's what they call a moderate, I guess, and so that's why he ended up voting for it. But who knows?
Pull up the Drudge Report and and read what Drudge has on it, okay? And I'm not going to go any further than
No,
that. You're more than welcome to look at the Drudge Report.
We got to talk about William Taylor's Saints history, man.
Hey.
You talk about somebody. I think he was born way before the Saints ever
But look, Greg,
started.
I'll let y'all go.
Hey,
I just
D.
wanted to comment on it.
Hey, D, thank you for yesterday. Y'all
We
did
had
a great
good time.
job,
It was a very
man.
nice day, and
Yeah, you
Gene did a
too.
good job in the morning. We went overtime to 8:30 actually, and it was a nice show. The dialogue was nice. So.
It was exciting to have the officials
It was.
in our
Finally
great...
meet Moon Griffon, I guess, in person. I mean, it's entertainment, Greg, is what it is. I know it's entertainment, but
Yeah.
he does have principles that he follows, and I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
What's great, D,
Despite what Paul says.
you can go,
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good day.
you can go online.
All right, man.
And go online and pick up the whole show again and listen to it again.
Yep. That's it. Thank you, D. And, as a matter of fact, good point. ThibodeauOnline.com. And thanks to Ben Harang
My daughter in
and
Houston can pick it up.
and
today on my
Donna's
computer,
Realty.
uh-huh.
That's great. I'm hoping I'm doing it right. I don't know. Maybe your daughter will have to tell us if I'm doing it right this
I'll
morning,
let you
okay?
know, I'll let you know.
And twice a day, Ben Harang allows me to update the audio weather
That's right. I forgot about that.
for that website.
Right,
And
that's on Thibodeau Online.
we kept people up to date on Tropical Storm Debbie through that as well. So
Great. Good morning. You're on KTIB.
Good morning, Greg.
Hey,
Darryl LaFang. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, Daryl. What you doing off, huh?
I'm off. I'm heading home.
Oh, yeah, that's right, huh? You
I'm working 12 hours at night. I'm ready to go.
He works at our work release center, so
I see.
he works overnight, so he's
God.
ready for bed right
He's
now.
not running at 4 o'clock in the morning.
No. What's up, Daryl?
Not too much. Mr. Gibbons, are y'all still doing that pictorial thing at the Civic Center with all the old pictures of the old Thibodeau?
No, I don't think they're doing that anymore.
Okay, because I had a couple of good pictures that would have gone good with that.
Yeah, I tried to start that. They have a different person over there. I haven't been there, but they have about 13 pictures where they put in the hall. Yeah, why don't you let us know what you have that we could put up there,
Yeah. You listed in the book, Mr. Gibbons?
Yeah, sure, uh-huh.
Okay. I'm off next week. I'll give you a shout. We'll get together and
Give
look
me a
at some
call.
pictures.
That'd be great.
Daryl.
Yes.
While I got you on the phone, what's Hope for Animals up to lately?
Hope for Animals is just we're doing our thing, we saving dogs, putting dogs in good homes, and I'm not too sure if we got any fundraisers coming up off the top of my head, but
Well, y'all are doing a good job, man. Keep it up, okay?
I appreciate it. But when we do, we'll definitely give y'all a call and try to get on the air and promote our fundraisers.
All right, partner, get you some sleep. We'll see you later on.
All right, my friend.
All right, bye-bye. You talked about Johnny Perkle just a few minutes ago. I left Johnny a note yesterday. It's amazing that you brought him up this morning, but I said, Johnny, if you're up, give me a call. So I don't know if he will or not.
Johnny
But
gets up that early.
I know.
And you speaking of Johnny, this past February marked 10 years since when Soul in Your Bowl first debuted here.
Come on.
At KTIB. And if people want to relive a lot of that, you can go to KTIBmemories.com. And we still have a lot of classic things from station history still posted on that site, including a lot of the interviews we did from the 50th anniversary series.
He's got all that on the website.
On KTIB
Memories.
Memories.
All solid, one word. KTIBmemories.com. And it was fun putting that thing together.
It's some great memorabilia about this radio station. Hopefully, we're making some memories right
Nobody
now.
knows more than he does.
Yep.
Well,
He's
we
got the whole
interviewed
thing.
a lot of nice people for that series, and they helped out a whole lot.
That's Obama. I bet that's Obama.
Good morning. You're on KTIB.
Greg, I completely forgot to invite you and Gibbons to the concert on the 8th at St. Genevieve at 2 o'clock.
St. Genevieve, 2 o'clock on the 8th?
Yeah, Joyous Sounds concert.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready for that.
Well, I hope to see both of y'all in that number.
Okay.
I know Mr. Gibbons has been a supporter for a long time, and we really enjoy putting it together, and you'll hear some quality music.
Okay, St. Genevieve, give me some information again. St. Genevieve, 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, July the 8th.
Okay.
Sunday, July the 8th at 2 p.m. at St. Genevieve.
And the group?
And then,
who are they going to sing?
Joyous Sounds.
Joyous Sounds.
Joyous
I want
Sounds.
you to tell us, okay?
And we'll be at the American Legion home in Lockport the following Saturday, the 14th, at 6 p.m.
14th at 6. Okay. All right.
And I neglected to do that.
Well, listen, make sure you call Gene next week, too, and remind him again, okay? He's got it.
He's got it, and he's been putting it out. But
Great.
I wanted to personally invite both of you.
We will try our best.
Well,
We'll try. We'll pass the collection.
All right, buddy.
All right, bud.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so that's Joyous Sound at St. Genevieve Church, 2 o'clock on July 8th. Don't miss it. It's a good concert.
I tell you, one time at a party at Eddie Bear's house, they sang, for me, it was my birthday or something, they sang all the great old songs that Frank Sinatra, they know all of that, you know.
Who's that guy
Four
that you
sons
went to
that
see in Houma that does Frank Sinatra? He was in New Orleans. I can't think of his name now.
I can't remember the name.
But he was in New Orleans at the World War II Museum a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he was.
And I wanted to go see him.
Oh, he was fabulous.
But,
And they didn't videotape it. I was hoping they would videotape it.
Now, let me tell you, the listening audience might not know this either. Anytime you get into, well, William knows this, anytime you get into videotaping and publishing, you've got to pay every song, you got to pay royalties to show it.
I know.
I mean, it's such a nightmare. I'll tell you how bad it is out there. Now, I know the writers and the composers need their money. I understand that. But I wanted to videotape my church's choir one year and just sell the CDs for $5 to raise money for choir robes.
Right.
Okay, I couldn't do it because we would have had to pay the royalties for the songs and you know.
I think after 50 years you don't have, huh, will you?
No, maybe 70. It's I'm not 100% sure, but real quick because I know we got to go to break. Gentleman used to work in.
Thank you.
A gentleman used to work in New Orleans radio, Pat Matthews, over at WGSO, I believe it was. He's now in California, and he runs a website called BeatlesArama.com.
Okay.
And I think he's got to pay like $150,000 a year.
Yep.
When you do all the math of the royalties
You're
and
right,
everything
that much,
else.
huh?
Oh yeah.
So
all these .com radio stations too that are on the air,
goodness,
they all have to pay royalties. I heard one the other day say it takes us over $300 a month to operate the station just to play music. No DJs, no nothing. And he said they asking for donations for that. Yeah.
Right.
Hey guys, I got to take a break. William Taylor, Gibbens Robichaux with me this morning. You're on Dialogue. I'm Greg Dumas with you this morning. Thank you for letting me be in your cars and your home. We'll be back in just a minute here on KTIB Thibodaux. It's 7:24. Drive carefully going to work this morning. Be back in a minute. Good morning once again. I'm Greg Dumas sitting in for Gene Richard. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. 7:26. William Taylor's with me along with Gibbens Robichaux. And William says, what about the weather?
Looks like it will stay partly cloudy with only very isolated showers at best, 10%. Highs around 90. I believe it should be 94 today with overnight lows tonight around 76. Very
Excellent.
little wind.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you for that. And you just be careful out there. And if you're outside, as Gene Richard and his crew are every day, please hydrate yourself as much as you can possibly hydrate yourself. That means drink water, folks, okay? And our fruit, not fruit drinks, what do they call that?
Sport drinks.
Sport drinks. But let me give you a warning about that. As Gibbons says, my beautiful wife will warn you, don't drink them all the time because it does affect your teeth. You know, so just, she's a dental hygienist, okay? Don't tell anybody. It does affect your teeth if you OD, okay? But sport drinks are good for you. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, right.
It supplies you electrolytes and
Well,
stuff
they
like that.
pointed out, too, if you just drank a sports drink, if you have to brush your teeth, wait at least 30 minutes after you drink it, because initially when you first drink those things, it actually weakens the enamel to the point where if you hurried up and brushed right after, it would actually weaken the teeth further.
Oh, yeah?
Dr. Taylor.
Boy, he knows it.
Right up there with Dr. Morgus.
Oh, he's on the air now, too.
Well, he's
Again.
he's on hiatus right now because of Fox 8's contract with Major League Baseball.
Okay.
But he will be returning to the airwaves July 13th and 14th.
Now that you're the historian on that, too, let me ask you. It's a 30-minute show. Is
Right.
are those are pre-recorded shows? Are they going to be using those to go into movies later on? It looks
basically-
like when he takes a break, he sends it back to the studio like he used to do.
Well, the plan is to keep them now as half-hour shows.
Okay.
That you remember these particular episodes? They were originally filmed starting in 1987.
Those are not new.
No, everything you see on WVUE is actually the same reruns.
No kidding.
The rerun package from the late 80s and early 90s.
He knows everything.
We were wondering about that. My wife and I were talking about that the other day.
Well, what had happened was, like I said, we got time. I'll go ahead and tell the synopsis of it. Morgus first debuted on television at Channel 4 in 1959. And the original run was through the end of 64.
Right.
He left to go to Detroit in 65. Came back, and they did, 59 to 63. Then he went to Detroit in 64. Came back to New Orleans from 65 to 69 to do first-run episodes. And then after 69, him and Channel 4 had a falling out with their contract. So from 69 to 71, WWL, all they did was reruns of the packages that ran in the mid and late 60s. And then what happened was, after that, they decided to, like I said, he moved on briefly to Channel 6.
Yeah.
And he actually hosted Star Trek reruns
Oh,
over there. And like I said, all the episodes he did in that era were wrapped around the movies. And then he actually had moved to New York. He moved to Atlanta and then came back to New Orleans. But he didn't get back into first-run production until early 87. And what they did was WGNO did not have a big enough studio at the time to film his episodes.
Yeah, right.
So they actually filmed at Channel 6 on Royal Street, and then the episodes would air on Channel 26.
How old do you think he is?
Oh, he's in his 80s.
Oh, yeah, Sid Noel.
Yeah?
Sid Noel, oh, yeah, he's in his 80s now. I still communicate with him every now and
you
then.
do, huh?
Oh, yeah, and so those packages
bro.
you see on WVUE.
What's his real name?
Sid Noel.
Sid Noel. And ironically, he was born on Christmas Day. And that's his last name, Noel. True story. So anyway, so what you see on WVUE originally aired on 26. That was wrapped around the old movie packages. In fact, because of time constraints, they had to snip one segment out of each of those episodes to fit them in half hour. And ironically, you brought it up. We brought it up because the last rerun they showed before they went on hiatus because of baseball, Morgus happens to run into a revenue agent. The man who played the revenue agent was Al Duckworth.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I talked to his stepdaughter about it. And she said, yeah, that her father was pretty excited to do that role.
That's funny.
And, of course, he passed away in 2001.
Yeah.
But that's what you're seeing, in fact, because a lot of the reruns hadn't been seen in quite a while. That's why some people think they're new episodes.
Yeah. If you want to join this conversation on KTIB, give us a call at 447-6409, 447-6409. We welcome your calls, your comments. It's 7:31. You're listening to Dialogue. I'm Greg Dumas, sitting in for Gene Richard. I got Mr. Tidbits here with us. Oh, man, you got your tidbits from the Chamber magazine, which happens to be chock-a-blocked this month. I mean, it is so full of stuff. It's unbelievable.
Before you go to your 5-minute thing, I love these funny names. This is a real name.
Okay.
Face Popcorn.
Face Popcorn.
That's her name. And E. Pluribus Eubanks. Miss Mignon Hamburger.
Uh-huh.
And a person named Serious Misconduct.
No.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine in the service named Chester Fields.
No kidding.
Yep, I know of that.
And Serious and Pearl Harbor. That's a great name.
That's true.
Oh,
That's Sue.
goodness. Well, one night I was watching the Louisiana lottery results, and they said a man from Monroe won. His first, middle, and last name was General George Washington.
No.
Yeah.
Interesting.
George Washington.
And also, if you watched the Millionaire Show with Meredith Vieira, the other day they talked about this lady who had passed away. She was gave a lot of money in the state of Texas. Her father named her I'm a Hog.
Oh, yeah. I heard about it. They were very rich. They never married. Two girls out of Houston, right?
Right, something like that,
Yeah.
right. I'm a Hog.
Oh, no, that's a shame. I'd shoot my dad over that, man. Tell me a little bit about some of your sayings here, too. I see one that I really like. Save energy. How would you like if someone turned you on and then left?
It turns you on to the left.
Save energy.
I like the first one. Please be safe. Do not, at a zoo,
Okay.
do not sit, climb, or lean on the zoo fence. If you fall, animals could eat you. That might make them sick.
In the case of some people, they're right, but
That's true. Talking about energy, you know, another radio host the other morning was talking about we were having brownouts all over, especially on the east and west coast, because of everybody using their air conditioner.
Yeah, right.
And this radio host said, you know, okay, everybody wants us, the federal government wants us to go to these battery cars. Just think what we'd be up a creek if everybody had a battery car. We'd have blackouts instead of brownouts if everybody plugged their car in and had the air conditioner on at the same time.
You're right, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think they think things out like that.
I don't think that battery cars are going to work. No, you're right about that.
Well, Gibbons, you going to be around for the 4th of July?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh yeah, I went over there. I went to the big where the planes flew over, but I didn't know about your music. I gotta go listen to it.
Well, we have a little music at my house. Okay, so
you don't have free beer or nothing, huh?
Nah. Margaritas.
That's another great name. Another great name, huh?
Yeah. As long as your last name isn't Bill.
Why don't you play that 5 minutes?
Yeah, we were talking off the air. Folks that are listening for the first time or have not heard me, I kind of try to pull a little bit of tidbits myself every once in a while, and knowing it's the 4th of July week. I kind of dug it deep and wanted to play this for you. Now, this goes back, I don't even have the dates on it, Gibbons, but it goes way back. Well, let's catch this and then I'll explain it to you.
Okay.
Good morning. You're on KTIB.
Good morning.
Hey.
Enjoying your program.
Thank you, sir.
I had a question for William Taylor about the New Orleans Saints. I had attended a Saints game when I was only 7 years old in 1967 at Tulane Stadium when they played the Dallas Cowboys.
right.
And I was just wondering, is there any way that they have those games on tape or DVD that I can get access to?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but to condense it, prior to 1977, CBS and NBC really didn't save most of their TV feed broadcast on videotape, because back then, the cost of a videotape, like in the 1960s, would have been like $500 for a 1-hour reel. And I do know this, there are film clips that exist from those games through NFL Films. And so there's probably clips of the game, but definitely, unfortunately, not the entire broadcast from that time. So tell you what I'll do for you and the other listeners that have any questions about the Saints or information like you just pointed out. You can write me to the email box, which is nashdonal@yahoo.com.
Wait, slow down.
I'm going to spell it out.
Okay.
Okay, NASHDONAL@yahoo.com. Just remember Nash Roberts, Don Westbrook, and Al Duckworth.
I knew that was it.
And that's the easy way to remember the email address, nashdonal@yahoo.com. And you can write me, and tell you what, if you send me your address in that email, I'll see what I can do for you about finding clips from that game.
Okay, then I appreciate all the help.
All right, you take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, sir. All right, thank you. That's helpful, William, on that. All right, to get into this, because it is a 5-minute cut, we're going to take 5 minutes. Red Skelton, who used to be a TV host many years ago and radio before that, okay?
Yeah.
He was a patriot, and he laid down a track about the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States of America. And since it's my show today instead of Gene's,
And it's almost July 4th.
and it's almost July 4th, we're going to let you hear a little bit of it. Hopefully, it's clean enough for you to understand it because it's powerful. And just give a listen and see what you think.
Getting back to school, I remember a teacher that I had. Now, I went through the 7th grade. I went to the 7th grade. I left home when I was 10 years old because I was hungry. And I used to, this is true. I work in the summer, I go to school in the winter. But I had this one teacher, he was the principal of the Harrison School in Vincennes, Indiana. To me, this was the greatest teacher, a real sage of my time, anyhow. He had such wisdom. And we were all reciting the Pledge of Allegiance one day. And he walked over, this little old teacher, Mr. Laswell was his name. Mr. Laswell he says, I've been listening to you boys and girls recite the Pledge of Allegiance all semester, and it seems as though it's becoming monotonous to you. If I may I recite and try to explain the meaning of each word. I, me, an individual, a committee of one, pledge, dedicate all of my worldly goods to give without self-pity, allegiance, my love and my devotion to the flag, our standard, Old Glory, a symbol of freedom. Wherever she waves, there's respect, because your loyalty has given her a dignity that shouts freedom is everybody's job. United. That means that we have all come together. States, individual communities that have united into 48 great states. 48 individual communities with pride and dignity and purpose. All divided with imaginary boundaries, yet united to a common purpose. And that's love for country. And to the Republic, a state in which sovereign power is invested in representatives chosen by the people to govern. And government is the people. And it's from the people to the leaders, not from the leaders to the people, for which it stands. One nation, meaning so blessed by God, indivisible, incapable of being divided, with liberty, which is freedom, the right of power to live one's own life without threats, fear, or some sort of retaliation. And justice, the principle or qualities of dealing fairly with others. For all, which means, boys and girls, it's as much your country as it is mine. And now, boys and girls, let me hear you recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Since I was a small boy, 2 states have been added to our country, and 2 words have been added to the Pledge of Allegiance: under God. Wouldn't it be a pity if someone said that is a prayer and that would be eliminated from schools too?
Okay, that's it.
We run out of time, but this man's got more history of the Saints. He got to tell you about how they got to New Orleans.
Okay,
Yeah. Let's take that important break there.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I just looked. We're okay. We're okay. We're doing good. Yeah, but that was way back. That was recorded before, right after they did the undergrad, and
Right.
now, you go to a college commencement, and I've been to several in the last couple of years. They won't let them say the word God in the commencement prayers.
Wow.
It's a higher being. Well, God is a higher being, but I mean it's absolutely. Well, anyway, that was a wonderful piece. And I'm sorry for the hum in the beginning. We're going to try to get that out and see if Linda will play that maybe on July 4th or something again for us on KTIB, because you'll very seldom hear that on any radio station except a local radio station, the treasure of South Louisiana, right here on KTIB 640 AM. You know those other stations won't do that.
Greg Dumas will do it, though.
I didn't clear that with the boss, though. But anyway, Linda knows. Linda walks on tiptoes when I'm on the air, okay? Because she never knows what I'm going to come in with.
What you want to say?
Hey, listen, we're getting back to weather for a minute, William. You know, it's snowball time right now, man. Let's go to the phones and we'll talk about that in just a second, okay? I do too. Good morning, you're on KTIB.
Good morning. I want to thank you for playing Red Skelton's Pledge of Allegiance.
You're more than welcome, sir. I appreciate it. And again, I apologize for the hum in the beginning. We figured it out. You heard when we figured it out. But isn't that a nice piece?
It is. It's terrific. The Red Skelton has got plenty good work. if I wouldn't monkey with it because if you might lose it.
Yeah.
If you could make more copies of it and make those available, it would be.
You know what we'll do?
Appreciated,
You know what we'll do? We will talk to Linda and see what kind of rights there is. We may be over the time limit on that where we can do that, but again we're dealing with licensing again. So I tell you what, I will visit with the station manager here and see what she says, and we'll take it from there, and possibly we can do that for you. Okay?
Somebody at your level might be able to do that.
If we go online and you can record it.
Hey, maybe that's right, William. We might be able to put that on your website
Well,
too.
I know this. You're talking about the Red Skelton prayer is available on YouTube. I know that.
Okay, good.
So just type in Red Skelton Pledge, and you should be able to find it on YouTube with absolutely no problem.
Okay.
On YouTube, you know what he's talking about there, huh? Okay. Get somebody.
I'm not that familiar with it.
Well,
I'm glad to know it's there.
I'm like you. I've got to have my kids teach me that, okay? But but it is on YouTube since William said it, and if you can't though, I'll get with Linda and see what we can do about it. All right?
Mighty fine. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening, sir. All right. Bye-bye.
Gene would be proud of you, I'm sure.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Have a good day.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Yes, sir.
7:44. Greg Dumas for Gene Richard this morning on KTIB.
Wow.
Where do we go from here?
I was going to say, the first time I had heard that was actually 7 years ago when Don Grady was hosting Louisiana Live following Jim Inkster.
Okay.
And he had played that, and he had a lady on to talk about the history of the pledge and how Under God got added and such. And, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's very touching. Here's Red Skelton, the man who did network TV from 1951 to 70.
Okay.
With this regularly scheduled show, and then, to have so much meaning come from a comedian.
Especially at this time of day. In this time also, it's still meaningful.
It's very remarkable.
Yeah.
To this day.
He was quite a guy. Is that was he Clem Cadiddlehopper?
Yes.
Okay.
And,
Cadiddlehopper.
I got it.
And,
you're amazing for your age.
And San Fernando Red.
Yeah.
And the other famous, the Mean Whittle Kid was also part of his routine. I'm forgetting another real famous one he did. But, darn, I feel so bad now. But he had so many good characters on television. Clem Cadiddlehopper.
Clem Cadiddlehopper. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He was something else.
Listen, okay.
Yeah.
What we're going to do right now, we're going to take an early break because I want to get into something that Gibbons brought up just a few minutes ago with William Taylor, and I think we can address that question in just a few minutes here on KTIB. So if you'll stay tuned right here at KTIB with us, and we'll be back with some more of the Saints discussion on our radio station on Dialogue this morning as I look, as Gene says, to the computer and find it. There we go. And hang loose. And good morning once again. You're listening to Dialogue on KTIB. It's 7:48. If you got to be to work at 8 o'clock, well, you know what it is, huh? So please don't speed. Please drive with care. And a lot of dry highways out there, so that's a good thing, actually. Right now, Gibbons and I were talking off the air with William Taylor, the historian of the Saints, not the unofficial historian of the Saints. Hold on. Let me get your microphone up. There you go.
There we go.
Okay. And Gibbons, you wanted to ask William something. What was that?
Well, I asked him to tell us about that night that they had two games.
Right.
And one of them was, what was that for? Why two games at one time?
Well, what happened was, to kind of synopsize there everything, what happened was about 2 years ago I decided to put together a documentary called New Orleans Pro Football at 50, because in 2010 it actually marked the 50th anniversary of regularly scheduled football in New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
Now, if those of you who are good at math, you wonder, well, if the Saints started in 67, how could it be 50 years? Well,
I was wondering that.
Right. 1960 was the first year New Orleans had regularly scheduled exhibition games from other teams come to town, in the hope that if they gradually went up...
Hold on just a second. I think I knocked you off. Hold on. There you go. Try it again. Okay, go ahead.
There we go.
Okay.
Some people sound better. I sound better with the dead mic. But long story short is 1960 was the first year New Orleans had regularly scheduled exhibition games with other teams coming to town, hoping over time, if the attendance grew and grew, they would get their own team.
Oh, okay.
So what happened in 1960, a man who, sadly, he's been very forgotten about, Mr. Jack DeFee, who was the last front office general manager of the New Orleans Pelicans baseball team.
I remember that.
Got the first regularly scheduled exhibition game to come to New Orleans between the Steelers and Packers at City Park. Then Now, the attendance wasn't that good, about 16,500. So what happened, he skipped 1961 so that in 62 he could get a bigger name, like a team with a big name, local ties to come in. Billy Cannon and the Houston Oilers of LSU Heisman Trophy fame came into City Park to play the Boston Patriots, and they had over 31,000 people, which then broke the American Football League record for largest attendance at a preseason game.
Tulane Stadium?
No, it's City Park.
Oh, City Park.
They still were having a City Park. Now, here's what happened. After the 62 game...
Tad Gormley Stadium.
Yeah, well, back then it was still City Park.
Okay.
I don't think they officially named it Tad Gormley yet. So what happened, after that game, Mr. DeFee, who was getting kind of tired with the whole process, turned the reins over to Dave Dixon.
Yep.
Dave Dixon at the time was trying to get an expansion team to come here on his own. So he took over, and in 63 they had a very rare NFL doubleheader in New Orleans at Tulane Stadium, where the Chicago Bears played the Baltimore Colts in the second game. First game was Detroit against Dallas. And what happened in the beginning of the fourth quarter, they had a huge rainstorm, 2.5 inches in 28 minutes.
Wow.
And they went ahead, they kept playing through it all. And then they had to delay the second game by 25 minutes so that the Tulane Stadium crew could get all the excess water off the sideline. The second game didn't finish till 12:05 a.m. Sunday morning. Now, back then, I mean, it's a technicality, but Tulane Stadium would never allow Sunday football to be played there during that era. So technically, that was the first Sunday game played at Tulane Stadium because it went 5 minutes after midnight.
I'll be doggone.
And also, by chance, that was also the first event, not just football game, the first event ever at Tulane Stadium that was desegregated. So a little bit of history there. Then
they did sell Dixie beer.
Yeah. Right. They sure did. And then in 64, they had another exhibition contest there. But then New Orleans was supposed to host the January 1965 AFL All-Star game at Tulane Stadium. But what happened one day after the players arrived, about 21 of the African-American players said that they were denied taxi cab service when they initially got out from the airport, and then many of the French Quarter clubs wouldn't allow them in. So what happened the next day, those players decided that they would basically not play in the game because of the way they were treated. And so what happened, some of the white players went to talk to them about it, and they said, well, if you feel that way, I'll join the boycott with you. And what ended up happening, Commissioner Joe Foss of the AFL ruled in their favor, and they canceled the game and moved it to Houston, Texas. And Dave Dixon admitted later that it really could have killed pro football's chances in New Orleans. But what they wound up doing was they reinvigorated themselves. The following August, they had another exhibition game between two NFL teams. And this is a great story to show how much the fans wanted to support Dave Dixon after what happened. Over 75,000 people showed up for a preseason game. It set an American record at the time for largest attendance at a pro sporting event in the southern United States.
That's amazing.
Yeah, over 75,000 for a preseason game. All right, then the next year they had two more preseason games spread out about a month apart. And then finally, the ball started rolling to get New Orleans that exhibition, the franchise. And the very long story short with that is what happened was at the time, the NFL and AFL were trying to merge.
Right.
But some people in Congress didn't want that because they thought it was going to be a monopoly.
There you go again.
Primarily New York Representative Emmanuel
Bring it to the
Seller.
Supreme Court.
So what happened, our U.S. Senator, one of our U.S. Senators, Russell Long, worked with U.S. Representative Hale Boggs, where what they did was in the House Ways and Means Committee, they were able to attach a limited antitrust exemption to some kind of a credit tax bill. It took about 8 hours to get this amendment done. What they did, they got it passed. The NFL and AFL were allowed to merge. President Lyndon Johnson signed it into law, I think, on October 21 of 66. And Pete Rozelle, the commissioner of the NFL at the time, looked at Mr. Long and Mr. Boggs and said, you got it.
Yep.
And 10 days later at the Pontchartrain Hotels when they announced that the New Orleans had gotten its franchise.
November 1st?
Unbelievable.
November 1st, 66. And to his dying day, Pete Rozelle would never admit that he held it on All Saints Day because of that. He always claimed that was a coincidence.
There you go, Tidbits. There's another article for you.
Yep, November 1, 66, and that's
great. Well, you remember all, have all.
Get on that microphone, man. Get on that microphone. There you go. There you go.
Right. But also, just want to throw it out real quick while we still got a little bit of time. That, like I said, 3 weeks from tomorrow will be my 25th high school reunion.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. We mentioned earlier about air conditioning, how times have changed. If there's one story from my years at school that shows you how the discipline has changed, I've told this one often, but when I was in 3rd grade, I vividly remember there was a young man who was in band, and one day during the first recess period, he opened his band case, and inside of it was a Twinkie. Well, one of our teachers actually threatened to suspend that young man for 3 days.
Oh, my goodness.
For bringing unlicensed food to school.
I'll be dogged.
Now, I later told my father that story, and he looked at me and said, well, son, you don't think that woman just took that Twinkie and put it in a safe somewhere for the rest of the year? She probably was hungry and threatened that kid.
You probably ate it.
That's it. So, how times have changed, huh, William?
Your history things are great, William.
Yep.
Oh, and also, to the same email address we gave out earlier for that nice gentleman, nashdonal@yahoo.com. If anybody's interested in getting some of my CDs, I got a couple of them that are all digital. They're not audio. Looking back at Saints history, my favorite one is called On This Day in Saints History, where literally it's a calendar breakdown day by day of what happened over the years in club history. And one of my personal favorites that we've done under the Fleur-de-Lis Flashback name is where I do an audio series where each 60 to 90-second episode looks back at 1 year in club history. So if anybody wants any more information on that, just to go to the same email address.
All right, just to cover a couple of things before we get out of here, because it's 7:56 right now. Gibbons, you got tidbits in the magazine, in the Thibodeau Chamber of Commerce magazine. We didn't get to much of that today, but read your article.
I wanted y'all to hear William Taylor.
Read your article on that, okay?
Yeah.
Go get Johnny Jam's salad dressing. Don't forget that. Okay?
Yeah, you're right.
And let's see what. Oh yeah, Joyous Sounds, St. Genevieve Church, 2 o'clock, July 8th, right? Yep, July 8th. And I understand you've seen them. I have not seen them, so I'm gonna try to hear that. And just a little note of little programming note, folks. You know, we don't talk about this that much on Gene's show, but just to give you an idea before you leave us this morning, what's coming ahead on KTIB. We got some great programming. You need to tune in every day, 7 to 8, of course, Gene's here, and then Moon Griffon follows him 9 to 11. And Laura Ingram, who engages you really good. Turn off Rush and listen to Laura, okay? Because they knock heads with each other on radio dials. But we've got Laura Ingram, and she is just unbelievable. And if you don't think so, Bill O'Reilly lets her substitute when he's off the air. Okay, so she's got to be pretty good, all right? Then a new guy that I've just enjoyed driving home during drive time in the afternoon is Jerry Doyle. He's live.
I've heard him.
He's good. 2 to 5 in the afternoon, Jerry Doyle. And then the crazy Michael Savage, man. I like Michael. He's just unbelievable, and I'm glad that Linda was able to get him back on our radio station, because Michael tells it like it is, and he's got some interesting comments about Judge Roberts and this decision, and it's on the Drudge Report. And I think that I think you'll enjoy listening to Michael Savage between 5 and 8 at night. I'd like to take time right now to thank all of our sponsors too, because without them we could not do this show. And Gene appreciates all of our sponsors, every one of them, that really help us keep this radio station on the air. If you happen to have a business and you'd like to advertise right here on 640 AM, give Linda a call, because listen, this is our station. This is Lafourche Terrebonne's only station. We're the ones that keep the local stuff going when the big boys don't, and keep everything alive here in our great communities of Lafourche and Terrebonne and St. Mary and Assumption, all those people. We thank you for listening too. If you've got a business, give Linda a call and she'll set you up and turn some business through your doors. All right, that's the key thing right there. So until next time, I'm Greg Dumas, and I really appreciate you being with me this morning. Have a great day and a great 4th of July. Hope to see you soon next time.